Hi guys, welcome back. This is Exploring the Deep Stone Crypt, the third part out of presumably 4, potentially 5 parts. Right now I'm going to be covering the first part of the raid, which covers the ground-born encounters. Part 4 will be, well, actually, before I say where it is, massive spoilers ahead, as usual, as seen in the title. That's going to cover the space part, the fun part. But I thought that it would be much more important to cover some of the ground-based areas. After that tunnel, where I would normally get out, if instead you follow the main path, you would go down a nice little rocky hill with some like yellow tubes and gaps, and you'd end up in this facility. This is the facility that you see in, I believe, the viaduct, where there's 6 people walking. It also is the place where you come down at the end of the raid, but that's getting way ahead of myself. And I believe that the first encounter, the disabled crypt security, happens in this area. So I just want to show you how exactly the areas will look like, so that way, if you're using this to, I don't know, make it easier for your team on day 1 to have like an idea of what the play spaces will look like, then be my guest. This is for people like you. Or if you just like the architecture of Destiny raids, then you'll enjoy this. For the latter, I'm also thinking about making a photo album of all the cool, and compilation of all the cool areas, like a picture montage with some like music. But that's ahead of ourselves. Unfortunately, you can't really go far before you get to this locked door where I believe the encounter starts, so I am briefly going to go out of map and we're going to explore this from the outside. Now, as I was passing to the door, there was this weird like laboratory you can see into, so I thought, would it be possible to get into it out of map? And I saw a little hole on the right side there, and I'm like, huh, that's strange. Maybe I can go inside it, you know? I came to realize that it's actually blocked off by barriers, and I spent way too much time and effort trying to get into it, but I thought it was kind of funny, so I just included it in it. And while I'm trying to get into that locked laboratory before we explore the actual encounter, I would once again like to say thank you to everyone in the raid team for making this possible. Also, thank you to Glitchtutotial for making a very, very good video on how to get past the first encounter. I'm going to link it down below. I think that everyone should watch this. Like, I'm not even, it wouldn't even be worth it for me to make like my own, video, because he basically covers everything perfectly. If you want to know how to get past the first encounter, pretty much, I wouldn't say effortlessly, but without a lot of the heartache, in a very, very good way, I'd say watch his video. I'm going to link that down below. Now, I'll talk later on, but first let's explore the actual encounter. So, there's that locked door we saw earlier. On the other side of that, you have this massive atrium. Obviously, this is not the raid instance, so assumingly in the actual raid there will be terminals there that will be loaded in. You use these terminals to get a buff and, I don't know, kill stuff to progress the mechanics. That's the part we're not too clear about just yet. But as you can see, this encounter is divided up into 2 rooms. The one is a open like pool area, and the second is a more of like a server farm area. So maybe you kill and then you deposit in the server farm, or vice versa. Now, you do this to unlock a door on the far side from where you came in, right? But yeah, the first encounter that actually drops loot, mind you, not pike racing. I don't call it. I don't consider it an official encounter. This encounter, I believe, is just an introduction to the actual mechanic. And excuse the Discord notification noise that happened, unfortunately, as I was recording. Now, once you unlock the door, once you complete the encounter, you will go through that door on the far side. And from there, you will go to the third checkpoint here. I just thought I can get a better view, but evidently not. Here, you'll go through that red door I just briefly saw, and you will go inside. But right now, we can actually have an opportunity to go back inside the map to have a better view, because better than, everything glitching in and out. So let's go do that briefly. And If you're doing it otherwise, you can just drop down outside the map, but I want to show you inside. So, other side of the door, you get to this little hallway, and from here there is a defunct elevator that would normally take you down to like clarity control. Once it's 10 out of 10 on the, you know, design spaces Bungie, and we haven't even made it to the fun areas yet. So, we're in clarity control. If you've read the lore, a red flag should immediately be going off in your mind. If you haven't seen what's in this next room, you're gonna be surprised, I'd say. You're gonna be very surprised. So, you can briefly see it there, but I am wanting to build up suspense, so I'm just looking around the room. I just want to see everything before we get to the main event there in the middle. So, this looks to be a... Well, in the lore, Clovis Bray, he found a bunch of researchers in the Golden Age found an artifact on the moon. Clovis Bray came, the artifact told him to come to Europa to find like the path to immortality. And then he eventually found a, you know, great Exos. And that artifact was this, Clarity. And bravo to Bungie for actually putting it in the raid. I can't wait to see how exactly this raid plays out, as a lot of you probably are waiting as well, because you've seen my previous video, you know it gets really, really fucking crazy. And there's this weird like ice going up around the around Clarity there. And as usual, one of the first things I did when it came to the statue, well, I can already see the comments. But this isn't necessarily an encounter room, as I sort of expected. But the second encounter, which I believe is the first boss, is going to be right after in that room up ahead, and you can see a very strange like pod robot thing there. And I was gonna cut it until you get to the very end, but I just realized, hey, why not? I'll just show you how I got there because this could be helpful. Froggy, massive shout out to him once again, found this spot, I believe on the second day, yeah, one of the first days of our exploration together. That was like Wednesday on the first week. Oh, don't mind that, you didn't see nothing, don't worry. That's part 4. That's part 4. That's in the next video. You'll have to tune in to see more of that. I'm just gonna turn away, so, you know, not to dwell too much on it. Imagine I have a neuralizer from Men in Black in my hand, you didn't see anything. In this encounter, there's a massive wall preventing you from going to the other side, and, don't worry though, I've been to the other side. I think, we've explored it quite well. And in the next video, I'm going to show you all there is on the other side of that wall, and trust me, we found great things there. We've even found a chest. We've literally found a raid chest, guys. It's on the other side of that wall, and I will show you in the next video. Tune in for that. I think, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. I'm sorry for the delay for this video. It should have been up like 2 days ago, but I had some technical difficulties. But trust me, I will get that video up in 2 days. You will see probably one of the coolest jumping puzzles that they've ever made. And yeah, we found a raid chest. In regards to this encounter, it's designed a little interestingly. So when you first enter the room, there are 2 rooms to your right and left. And like there's a door to the right, I just briefly saw it. And in front of you is like a glass wall where you can see that escape pod / robot in front of you. You can't actually access the robot because there's like a glass wall in front of you. It looks like a window you can see inside. But there's doors to the right and left, and there's this weird like underpass. I'm aiming at it right now. You can see the other door in the distance. There's this weird like underpass area, right? So there's the middle where there's the boss, and then there's like an outside like rink where there's probably a whole bunch of ads that will spawn, right? Like then there's that underpass. And it's most likely that we're going to be fighting a boss here at some point. Perhaps the boss will be in the middle. And what we do is we use the buff to, I guess, destroy servitors, somewhat similar to actually don't pay attention to that thing in the story, that little panel thing. And I'm just trying to get some good angles of the room so everyone can, you know, have a good view of it. So you can see, because I'm pretty sure this first boss room is where one of the challenges are going to start happening. Right. Unfortunately, there was a way to get in. Unfortunately, it did involve, you know, lots and lots of lag. I elected not to do that anymore. I think that it was like the last thing. It was like my very last resort, and I don't like I only did it if I have to, which I did for that second video. But if you guys want to see inside of some of these encounters, like if you think that I didn't do a good enough job, I will be more than glad to actually do it, of course. However, this is just, I don't know, I think that this is enough, right? Like, you can see a lot of the actual encounters. And honestly, in this gave me a lot of trouble because there really wasn't, like, you know, ways you can get inside. However, I think in the next video, where I'm going to be exploring some really fun places, like the third encounter, I'll actually be able to go inside and you'll be able to see, you know, how exactly it all works. So just bear with me. Another thing, probably one of the most important things, there are these 4 tubes in the back of the room here. And I'm highlighting these because these are very important, right? There's a reason I'm doing it. They go up. After you beat the first boss, you take these tubes and you go up. You guys know where we go up, right? Because I showed it in the video. But these tubes go up into space. And conveniently, there are also 4 other tubes, also in the beginning of the space section, which I will be going to at the start of the next video. I'm going to be starting my next video looking at the other side of the 4 tubes, right? And I can't wait to show you guys that. Trust me, guys, you will love this. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take a look at this pod again, and I'll catch you in the next video.